Hello everyone and welcome to the Pup Mommy, where it's all about the dogs. They come first. I've owned dogs for over 30 years and I'm sharing with you my practical hands-on experience that in all these years of what I've learned in owning, loving, and caring for dogs. Now in today's video, and for those of you who follow me, you'll notice that this will be one of the shortest videos I've ever made. I know that we're almost in spring, but egads, it is cold outside. And in the area that I live in, we've been hit with one of those sub-zero polar vortexes in my area. So if you're freezing when you go outside, you can bet your dog is going to be freezing too. So it comes down to, do you have the right gear for your dogs, like sweaters and coats when it's cold? Well, let's get started and find out. Now, I will admit that there is nothing that drives me more crazy than when I see someone walking their dog and they're bundled up in the coat, a hat, a scarf, gloves, boots, but their dog, no matter what size, has no sweater on, has no coat on. Now, if you're freezing and cold when you go outside, you can bet your dog is too. Now, just because we use the term fur babies, that doesn't necessarily mean that their fur is going to insulate them against the snow, blowing winds, and rain or cold. So again, my point is, put a sweater on your little best friend when he or she goes outside in the cold weather, and especially if they're a short-haired dog. And by that, I mean it doesn't matter whether they're Boston Terriers, they're Chihuahuas, or they're Dobermans. They're short-haired dogs. And if you happen to have a large dog with a thick coat, then use your judgment by the breed that you happen to own. And as you're aware, I have Shepherds and Bostons, and I will tell you, in this kind of crazy sub-zero weather, cold day, my Shepherds wear coats. Oh yes, they do. And Nabucco here is modeling the coat that I use for them. Now, I got two of these coats years ago for my Shepherds, Zarina and Olympia, who wore them when they were basically playing outside or when I would take them for a walk in this really freezing cold weather. And I got them from a firm in Virginia called Dover Saddlery, and I'll leave the link below. They resemble horse blankets. And what I love about them is the fleece on the inside and the water repellent nature of the outside. They're fully adjustable. And Nabucco was wearing his earlier today when he was outside. Now, Dover doesn't have these exact coats, but they do have probably something that's very similar. So again, I'll leave the link in the description section. Point being, even large, thick-coated dogs or large dogs, in general, are going to be cold, especially when again it's in really sub-zero weather. So kind of remember, even though they have fur, even though they're large dogs or furry dogs or whatever, there's not polar bears. So keep that in mind. And for some owners of small to medium dogs out there, my pups are modeling some of the sweaters and coats I've had for years and years. And whether you go on Etsy or you go to your favorite boutique pet store or your big box store, when you're looking for sweaters and coats for your pups, look for the heavier knit sweaters and coats that have some warmth to them. Now, Allegra and Thumper happen to be modeling sweaters. Oh God, they are 20 years old. So I had them originally for my Bostons, Poco and Chipper. And I bought them from an internet website, Grandma's Doggy Sweaters, that I just happened to find. And unfortunately, it's no longer in business. Now, you can tell from the yarn that they're warm, and then also look at how well they have held up in 20 years. Now my late Boston Spunky and current boy Thumper are modeling coats by a brand called Dog Athletic. I saw them and I just absolutely had to have them. Again, I got these through a local pet store, Wet Nose Boutique. Got them years and years ago, but they're heavy fleece, they're very warm, and they have a cute little hood that you can wear up or down. So I got one in pink for my Boston Poco and one in red for my, at that time, my Boston Chipper. And again, my point being, when you buy clothing that's really quality and well made, they will hold up for years and years and years. Like these hoodies. These hoodies are 12 years old. So, you know, if you don't like buying dog sweaters and dog coats every year, you don't only need to buy one and really buy a good one, and it'll last and last and last until you're sick of looking at it, looking at them in it. It probably will happen first. So now, the other thing too, you may wonder if I use boots for my dogs, and the answer is no. I tried boots actually years ago that had traction on the paw pads. And first it took me a good half hour to get the boots on one of my Bostons. And then when I put him down in the snow, he tried to get the boots off, and then he started walking like Lurch. And then when he managed to get off the deck, he splayed on all fours right on the ground, because these boots don't work on icy snow. And they were more of a hindrance than a help. And also, you know, sometimes they also, you know, with being a hindrance, they can also injure the dog, in, you know, if the dog slips and falls the wrong way. So I just totally ditched mine. For other people, they find the right brand, they work perfectly. So again, it's all, you know, up to you and up to your dog. And besides, when my pups also come back inside, I always look at their paws, and depending on the condition, I'll use some sort of paw cream on their pads, and that works equally as well. So bottom line here, everyone, is this. If it's cold and freezing, and I mean cold and freezing, snow on the sidewalk, think twice about taking your dog out for walks or leaving them outside for any extended period longer than 10-15 minutes. You know, unless you have a Newfoundland, a Leonberger, or a St. Bernard, I mean, even those dogs get cold. So again, too, keep in mind with me, I'm all about prevention. And it's how you treat your dogs from the time they're puppies into the time of their adulthood and seniorhood. That's when it pays dividends. When you take care of them, when you watch them, you keep them warm, you look after them, which is just a normal thing of owning a dog. You know, it helps later on with the arthritis and the joint pain and so forth. And you know, one other thing too you might consider, I don't know how you keep your homes. Some people like a little cooler home, even in the winter time, or what you set your thermostat at. Do keep in mind, little puppies and small dogs may have sometimes a tendency to be a little cooler and a little colder. So put maybe a little light sweater on them. Sometimes I have a light sweater on these really sub-zero days. I put a sweater on my spunk. Or else sometimes these little doggy pajamas, just to give them a little extra warmth. So, we do have a lot of so's. I hope you found that this video was useful as to the winter wear that's out there, that really is kind of necessary at times for the pups. And also a reminder that, you know, the same warmth and protection that you do for yourself when it's cold and rainy, think about your pup when you're walking it outside, or when it is outside. So again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. And if you would like one-on-one assistance in finding the perfect pup for you and your family, I'll leave my contact information. And again, I'm here to help. And I thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.